Hi, Mogobe here. Thank you so much for watching this. Today is a very special day for us. It's Mogobe Real Estate Mentorship Program graduation ceremony. I've been privileged and honored to have Mr. Umesh Luna of Apex and Mr. Seata Ratsosa of Ignite Wealth. Both of him gave 30 minutes or so speeches on their investment journey and shared a little bit on real estate as well as on finance planning. And today is a special day. We have 23 graduates, people who are graduating from this course. It's the 6th cohort, if I'm not mistaken, of the Real Estate Mentorship Program. We're going to be able to dine and hang around with them. Some of them are going to share their stories in terms of the impact the mentorship program has had with them. And I must tell you that it's a very, very emotional moment for me to see people who, some of whom started knowing very, very little about real estate, to see them transitioning, to see them growing, to see them, as it were, evolving into real estate professionals they are. In fact, they call themselves multi-millionaire real estate investors. We want to be we are? Similar, you are? Multi-millionaire real estate investors. What did you say? We are multi-millionaire real estate investors. Okay. These things don't happen automatically. It is through our mentorship effort and our mentorship program where we call experts, industry experts from different areas. They would come here and lecture. I would refer them to books. I would try and get them to focus on numbers and things like that.
And then I've learned also about the metrics to use when you're evaluating a potential real estate deal. These are financial metrics, how to do the numbers, which numbers to do, which numbers to collect, how to verify those numbers. We had mentors, we had guest speakers that would come through. These were captains of industry, these were entrepreneurs in different fields relating to real estate. And we were given an opportunity to ask them any questions that we may feel we needed to know, and they came through by sharing their knowledge and information.
If you look at the numbers and do the numbers and know your cap rates, etc., the rules of thumb, the 1% rule, etc., you're able to filter through falling in love with just the building to knowing the numbers and let it be a cash flowing asset for you that will improve your life.
So it's a very, very fascinating, and for me it's an emotionally touching moment where we share our journey over the last 6 or 7 months that the mentorship program has been going on. So I'm very delighted, I'm very excited, and I do hope that you also get the sense of what this real estate mentorship program is really about.
So it's quite a good program, and I'm happy that I've graduated. This is a lifelong skill that I've gained, and I'm very grateful to Mogobe. Thank you.
And hopefully improve your balance sheets, add to your assets, and these are the kind of things that add to financial freedom and finding financial freedom through property investing.
Maybe you could also touch on your perspective and philosophy in terms of flipping or buy and hold.
Yeah, so flipping, buy, hold, all those things, they come from, you can say, market dynamics. Okay, so in my observation, who is supreme? Today we are playing a game, but who is in control of this game? You need to understand. Correct, somebody is in control of this game. You need to know that force. Am I in control of the game? Who is in control? So you see, in my observation, the market forces are the supreme. Nobody is above market forces. Okay, and these market forces, they come from economic, you can say, economic activity, economic policies, everything about our economic condition and the life cycle. So whether you want to do buy and hold and flip, all those answers, they come from market forces. What is the pulse of the game at this hour?
He's not like me who's against flipping. I say you flip only when it's absolutely necessary, like you're under pressure. But generally, I advise them, once you've started, maybe at the beginning you can flip a bit. Once you've started, buy and hold has by and large been the best strategy. But like you said, there are exceptions to the rule.
So, like, you know, Mr. Mogobe is, I think, plus minus 20 years elder than me. So his experiences are little different because he started in a different era, different economic cycle. I started in a different economic cycle. So my experiences are different than him. So for me, property is no longer an asset class. It's a commodity after a certain point. Okay? So flipping is, there's nothing wrong with flipping as long as it can benefit you. Because like as property developers, we're always building something nicer than the one we delivered last week. So there's nothing, you can, certain asset classes, people will always build a better property than last year. So it becomes a commodity at that level. So it has a component of asset and a component of commodity. You need to know that matrix.
And my greatest passion in what I do came from what I saw while I was behind the desk in a bank. I saw different behaviors of business people, individuals, right? I saw people who became successful, because when you are sitting behind the desk in a bank, you can literally understand someone's life just by looking at a bank account. We were taught how to assess a bank statement. I look at your bank statement, I see a certain transaction going out at 2 p.m., at 2 a.m., and then airtime being bought at 2:30 a.m., you know, and then there's some withdrawal from an ATM at 12 midnight. You know, I can tell that this person is of this lifestyle. And I can also tell whether this person is going to make it, whether in business or as an individual. You can easily tell. That's why they always ask for your 3 months, 6 months statements. They're just looking at that, right? How do you behave? How do you behave, right? What type of transactions are there in your account, right? It's easy to tell. So management for me became some form of an obsession, right? To learn how to better manage things. It became some form of an obsession. So I started, when I decided to leave corporate, I was running an insurance agency. And I remember what you spoke about, saying that sales is very key in business, right? A lot of us want to do business, but we don't want to sell. And a lot of us want to acquire high value assets that require a lot of money, but we are not willing to make the money that can acquire those assets. It's very important to learn the other side of the business, the side that does not require capital to start. You see, selling does not require capital to start. It doesn't. If you don't own a real estate agency, Mr. Mogobe owns one, right? But if you believe that you really want to get into the real estate business, you feel you understand it, you can go and find deals for him. Find a client, right? You have a buyer, you have a seller, right? And then you find a buyer, you become a connector, you get some commission, you can negotiate with him and say, look, if you're going to take 5% from that property, which we are going to sell for, say 5 million, right? His 5% would be how much? 500, 200, no? It's 250,000, right? So his 5% will be 250,000. Then I negotiate that because I'm bringing the client to you, I don't have the license to do the transaction, right? I bring the client to you, you get the 5%, you give me 2%, or maybe we split half-half. That's 125,000 that you can make just by connecting that client, Mr. Mogobe.
Even when I have traveled, I'll make sure that I'm always there for the class. Like this morning, we had an event at work in Palate. I made sure I took a bus just so that I can be available today. This means a lot for me because this program is amazing. One day, if it continues, my son will also join.
so many thanks from the team. I don't know if you know the impact that you are doing, not only to us as individuals, but the rest of the country. Like the one life that you change in me touches 10 more families. From the rest of my employees, the way I manage them, the way I advise them with my younger brothers and sisters, it cascades down to those people. These 23 people who are graduating today are going to change more families, from his immediate family to his friends and relatives. So the impact that you are doing now, I just want to say thank you for being selfless, because information. You just find them rich and wealthy. They don't want to share the information. We just suspect or is because they are connected to the system, because maybe they are doing illegal dealings. But Mr. Mogobe is the only one who has opened himself up to say, guys, here is my life. I'm a Mutswana like you. I started from here and here. This is where I am.
Yeah, hey, now I'm embarrassed by my stories, guys. I messed up so many times. Do you still want to hear more of those stories? Because I blew it so many times. And I learned from my mistake. I learned from some of my mistakes. And one of the things I've learned is that personalities really matter. I've learned that having a very good RM should not be taken for granted. I can actually map in a graph how our company performed when we had a good relationship manager with our banks. The minute those guys resigned or went to other banks, we either stagnated or actually declined. So, and if there's any additional F-up that I can share with you, but sometimes I did not give those relationships the attention that they deserved. That RM of yours, Akiri is your relationship manager, he's been assigned to him. Love that guy or that woman. Take care of them. If they ask them, what can I do for you? Is there any challenge that you have? Is there anything I can assist? Why don't we have a cup of coffee? Why don't you come over for a drink? The RM is so important. That one who is assigned to you. And the funny thing I've noticed with all the banks, they decide who they assign to you. And it's almost like you're stuck with that person. And I've had situations where I felt the new one that they've appointed doesn't know a zilch about real estate. Thinks they know, but they don't know. And you can tell when people think they know, they don't know. So I've tended in the past to say, hey, I'm stuck with an ignoramus here. To explain every little thing. And then I got fed up and maybe I ended up saying, in hindsight, I should have rather taken time to teach this ignoramus and, roll out the red carpet, teach them more and more and more and get them, sweeten them. Because in the past I used to get fed up. Now, as a guy who's now approaching his 60th birthday, I'm now aware RMs are very, very important. So that's one of the areas where I think I've failed my company by not cultivating this relationship more. Because I'm talking about a guy, if you have a good RM, he will not stop the process of your application because your KYC was 2 days late. But they have the power. The RM settings, they will say, no, we had a deadline. In 3 months' time, you missed the deadline. He will tell you that. And the RM will tell you, no, the person who's considering your application is on maternity leave, or the other one has resigned, and your application is stuck. We've had stories like that. So you have to escalate and escalate. It's tough. Whereas if you have a good guy, he goes the extra mile. I've had 3 RMs over a long period. I'm talking about a couple of decades. All these 3, that's how good the relationship was, because I have another office there. So if there's any free piece of advice I can give you, Those RMs matter. Those RMs need to be treated as if they are a member of your quote-unquote investment family. I don't know if this point is sinking through. Because nobody taught me this. Even my mentors never told me. I saw for myself how disastrous it can be when your company is stagnating, and sometimes things deteriorate to a point where you don't know what is being spoken about you behind the scenes. You want to be sure things that are discussed in those investment meetings, in those committees that evaluate your loans, are positive. And you have a representative there, somebody fighting from within. But how say it's open? The one that you know just talks negative, it doesn't understand your business model, doesn't understand your objectives, doesn't know your why. You see? The one person who has to know your why are you doing what you're doing, apart from yourself, has to be your RM.
And you know this thing about Botswana have easy business, or they don't have business ideas, that thing is not true. I'm telling you, I was at the bank every day. Every day, I was receiving more than 20 new business ideas. Brilliant business ideas. But there was only one problem. Financial management. And you know how many Botswana businesses have been given big tenders, like really big tenders. There was one chap, may his soul rest in peace also, I think he died a year back. This old man, I used to manage his accounts. At some point, he was turning over 3.5 million a month. And some years later, he comes to the bank, he wanted to buy a truck. So in SA. So this truck was like 1.5 million. So West Bank didn't have an arrangement with the dealer that side. So because they did not have an arrangement, they wanted him to pay, right? And then the truck comes, and then when the truck comes, after they have registered it, then they will refund him the money, right, as a loan. But he did not have the 1.5 million. So then West Bank says, no, speak to your relationship manager. See what he can do. Maybe he can give you an overdraft or a term loan. And then after we have registered, then we'll settle the term loan, right? So that's the arrangement. So he comes to my office. He says, no, I spoke to the West Bank guys. This is what they're saying, this is what they're saying. So I called them. Obviously, we're having an internal argument within the bank to say, guys, but this is also your client. Why don't you just help him in good faith? Because you've bought him trucks before. So we ended up working on an arrangement to get him a short-term loan to procure the truck. So he came into my office, we sat down, and then I asked him, so tell me, why don't you have 1.5 million? So he laughs at me, he says, so why are you asking me that question? No, I'm just wondering, you've been in business for a very long time. Why don't you have 1.5 million? And then he started narrating his story of the contracts that he used to have, how much money he used to make, and what he used to do with the money. Because it didn't make sense. I mean, if you've been in business for that long, when an opportunity like that comes, you should be the first person to take advantage of it. Otherwise, you'll never grow, right? That's why you've seen in my videos, I speak a lot about saving. Mm-hmm. You know why I speak a lot about saving? And you can argue this all you want, right? And saying savings, it's not good, your money is not growing. There's nothing as powerful as cash. Anyone who does not have cash today, if an opportunity comes today, they won't be able to take advantage of it. Sometimes it takes too long to go to the bank to apply. Even if you are credit worthy, go to the bank, they want this document, and that document takes a week. But the person who wanted to sell this thing or this opportunity, they wanted cash immediately. And when you have cash immediately, you can always get a very good price. So every time when I do comparisons and say, okay, so if I have $1 million cash, liquid cash, or an investment that I can liquidate in a day, right? It's fine. Even if I'm not getting any interest on it. If an opportunity comes for that $1 million, chances are I can negotiate for a 20% discount or something. That is 200,000 saved. And you can't get 200,000 from any investment. Cash is power. But we need to understand saving like this, right? Saving is just a discipline. It's not something that is going to make you wealthy. It's a discipline. It teaches you great discipline. And you are not going anywhere without great discipline. You can come up with all sorts of business ideas, start businesses, grow businesses, but you are not going anywhere if you are not disciplined to put some funds aside. All the good business people in this country right now, who are everywhere taking advantage of everything, we know them. The only reason why that is happening is because they keep money, they're disciplined, they don't chow everything. My moment, my light bulb moment was when we were facilitating a loan for one a very successful businessman locally. He wanted, I think that loan was 300 M. And he had 500 M. And he would come to the bank because the processing in cash, right? Different accounts, right? You'd have 100 there, 50 there, 30 there, 30 there, 30 there. So because we were managing all of these accounts, like there were so many accounts, right? We were managing all of this. We knew that he had cash, and because we were tracking the accounts, we knew that was just lazy cash sitting there. But he wanted a loan. He would come to the bank. I'm negotiating terms, and this and this and this. And so I was wondering, why is this old man looking for a loan when he actually has cash to use, right? And you know, when he explained it, he said, if the opportunity is not immediate, he doesn't use cash. He will use your money. Only when the opportunity is immediate, you will not see him sending a request. You'll just see money moving. When the opportunity is immediate. So when he has time to negotiate, and you know, it's a transaction that doesn't need money to be paid today, he comes to the bank, he gets a loan. Because what he does not want is to find himself at any point in time not having enough money to take advantage of opportunities. And what opportunities are we talking about? The land that we sell every day, right? If you are buying land and you are going to get a loan to procure that land, chances are you are going to buy that land at market value. But if you buy land and you have cash, chances are you will get it 20% less. So then your money moves like that. People who are buying businesses right now, there's so many people who are selling their businesses because sometimes they have to travel. Some people want to retire. Some people are being deported for reasons known to them, right? People are selling businesses, very good businesses. You think those people have time for you to go to the bank for their financials to be assessed and all of those things? They don't. They just want cash because they want to go. So putting cash aside is the first step to wealth creation. If there's anything that you need to remember from my teachings, is that cash has to be put aside.
And then it's not about property. It's about using other people's money to make money. So if it's about financial market, so that's where you can say being an accountant, it helped me because I had some understanding of numbers, money world. So property is just you can say an asset class or a vehicle, but real business is not property. Real business is money world, financial markets. So if you know how to leverage, because you need money to buy property, you can have all the dreams and wish list to be a property magnate, but you can't touch Mr. Mogobe today. You understand? Because he's already ahead of us. If you say, even me, I'm already ahead of you, how are you going to compete with people who were born 40 years back? Isn't it? The only way is fastest money, fastest capital. If you don't know how to create your own capital, you can have all your wish list here. I made 20 points, you might have 40 points, but what will you do? It will die in the books. So you need to understand capital world more than the property world. Okay, so when you start learning, then you have to do something called reverse engineering, meaning make your roadmap to unlock the capital and then you work towards that. Okay, property, it just happens to be there. We use property. You can use property, you can use other asset classes, but it's just an asset class. But your pain is not property. Your pain is money. I'm sure none of you wants to go and clean these properties every day. Isn't it? You just like it because of money. You want easy, free money to come in. Less painful money, isn't it? So you don't have to say you like property. That's, you can say, one overlap you have to overcome. You must love money, not property. Property, we just use it. Okay? Are we together?
Yeah.
So this was my pain, and that's when you can say, when you understand this, then only journey begins. If you don't understand, if you fall in love with property every day, you're actually going on the wrong trap. You will never come this side, because now you have wired yourself wrongly. Okay? So that's, you can say, was my aha moment. That's where I started. Now all those things, you see, like if you have a goal bigger than life. So in myself, I always had it, like, when you look at the world, you look at people, I always saw, you always have millionaires or billionaires ahead of you in life. But if you look at it, how do you become a millionaire or billionaire? You find, this one, man, this father did this grandfather did this. So it's like one generation has to suffer. There is no how you can become millionaire or billionaire in this life if you are following a good practice. If you are a scammer, you are doing all zigzag, yes, it's a different story. But if you want to make money, and that money should be also sustainable, and you can pass it to next generation, it means you have to build your money in the right ways. And in right ways, there's no shortcut. You have to get this right. Whatever goals you are going to have, it will not benefit you. It's for next generation. You are just a trustee. You are just in transit to build this for next generation. Nothing is going to benefit you. So that is when you have, it means now you need to have a goal bigger than life. If you don't have goal bigger than life, you cannot align all these things every day. Okay? Whatever confusion, distraction you get, I get the same every day. Okay? But every day you have to make yourself 10 decisions, 10 choices. So those choices have to be aligned to your goal, personal goals.